Okay, we're playing Goblins. Again, we'll see about the. I know the combo matchups are scary. We've got Taster of Wares. We'll see how it goes, but I do think Mudbutton Cursetosser, Grub, and Taster of Wares, for the most part, want us to be this kind of grindy Birthing Ritual Chthonian Nightmare deck. Very excited for Mudbutton Cursetosser to sack it to Chthonian Nightmare in general, but also just to give you like a good speed bump against Boros. Not being able to block with it stinks, but like the fact that Curse Tosser into Ritual seems like a very good start against Boros. That just gives you something you didn't really have in this deck before, which was a good start against Boros. It's possible you want more sack outlets in the deck than Chthonian Nightmare and Birthing Ritual. And Sling-Gang Lieutenant, like you might want to play Skirk Prospector, you might want to play Thoughtseize. Right now, I've decided to go Ignoble Hierarch as the other one drop. Also, to like the 3 Goblin players that have suggested cutting Aether Vial for Thoughtseize, or sorry, Ignoble Hierarch would be the cut for Thoughtseize, I think, if you wanted to play Thoughtseize as your extra one drop. I think the Hierarchs are like, it's really nice to have access to this card in a Chthonian Nightmare deck where you have the extra mana to sink into this. It gives you the turn 2 Taster of Wares for a little bit of hand disruption. And also, like, if you top deck it, you can sack it to Birthing Ritual or Nightmare. But if you are really so worried about the combo decks, this would be the cut, in my opinion. Very excited for Grub. Grub is a 3 mana 2/1. When it enters, you can return a goblin from your graveyard to the hand. Very good with Ritual and Nightmare. At the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay a red to transform it. And if you do, it's very weird. You can attack Blight 1 and then make a copy of the creature. And then a lot of times you're going to kill your own like expert or Mogg War Marshal with the Blight 1, and then the next turn you can get it back into your hand. So I think Grub is going to be great. Also very nice to get to play some Boggart Trawlers. Was a little bit unsure with 3 or 4. I really wanted to play the first Phyrexian Tower though. I think Phyrexian Tower in your Mogg War Marshal Mudbutton Cursetosser deck, it's just like really, really good to play the first copy. So I'm very suspect of Vial and Ritual in the same deck. I think Vial and Ritual are good together. I think that these 2 cards will play well together, especially with the 3-drop that's putting creatures back in our hand. It's just so good with Vial. Up to date, but we are in the play for round 1. I keep. Beautiful hand. Guess we get Overgrown Tomb. So green sim for Dryad Arbor could be a Yawgmoth variant, maybe. Could be Titan. Should be able to Taster of Wares for a bunch. I might be able to get like a Court of Calling out of the hand there. So Walking Ballista to kill my Noble Hierarch. Ignoble Hierarch, sorry. So we'll play the Cursetosser, which we might be sacking the Sling-Gang Lieutenant to kill the Dryad Arbor this game. Get a Surveil off. Yeah, I'll just keep this so we can Taster of Wares their whole hand. I'm so excited to Taster of Wares. Would love, love, love to take a Court of Calling here. Be so sick. So we can see their entire hand, take a card, and if it's an instant or sorcery, we can cast it as long as it remains exiled. Unfortunately, their hand is pretty good against us. We kind of have to take a Cauldron. Wait, can I take the land? Wait, you can take lands with this. Huh. You almost never can do that. I guess I don't know if it was right to take the land there. Maybe it was. We'll think about it for next time. So they cast a Yawgmoth. I think I will not be paying Echo. I will be ticking up the Vial. Wait, this kills Yawgmoth if it connects. That's kind of cool. So land would be great. Yeah, I just wanted to check if it was power mana value. I couldn't remember. All right, so let's go ahead and attack. Oh, I guess we should have Sling-Gang first. Making a lot of little mistakes. Sorry about all the mistakes to all the Goblin fans out there. I'll tighten up. Interesting. They don't sack the Dryad Arbor so they can play their second Yawgmoth. So maybe I could just Surveil here. I don't know how valuable it is to play the Sling-Gang. Because I could just Vial this in next turn. And a Surveil is really valuable. If I could find a Chthonian Nightmare, a Birthing Ritual, another Cursetosser, a Grub. All of these are like just insane winning top decks. I think that that's probably going to be okay. Okay, so I found Grub. So next turn I can go Grub, back Cursetosser, Violin, Sling-Gang, and then kill the Yawgmoth. Instead, my opponent Dredger's Insight instead of casting the Yawgmoth. They choose Spymaster's Vault number 2. Then they have a second copy of Dredger's Insight. And they find a Grist or a Windswept Heath. So, yeah, it does just seem like I should attack first. Now, it does kind of stink to leave the Vial, or take the Vial up to 4, so I can't draw step a top deck Cursetosser. But I think the plan is going to be to Vial in the Sling-Gang Lieutenant in response to Yawgmoth being cast, or something else being cast. Let's behold a Goblin. Yeah, and then next turn we can also flip this for some value. So I want to do this now before they can start doing anything with the Yawg. But I wanted to make them commit to casting the Yawgmoth first. Alright. Yawgmoth is also historically not a very good matchup. The Needle is kind of largely in the sideboard for Goblin Bombardment. We do also want it here. Not a lot else for Yawgmoth. Been a little bit of a downtick in Yawgmoth, but it does seem like Cursetosser is very good against them, so that are very limited testing. What do we want to cut? Could cut a Mogg War Marshal. Seems okay. Might be important for enablers, but seems okay. Cut Munitions Expert. I think Munitions Expert is one of our best cards against them, so I guess I'd love to hear some elaboration on why you don't. Let's keep this. We've got a lot of, it's always nice to have a turn 1 Vial. I think I want to test the Nightmares here. We need a little bit of help, but we'll find it. Vexing Bauble is for Neoform and then Blink and Affinity. Yeah, maybe Trashmaster could be a good tool against Cauldron. Maybe we don't want to be playing 0. So I'd love to draw 1 mana Goblin to Violin and then sack the Birthing Ritual next turn. Yeah, I don't think Ashiok is good against Yawgmoth, despite people. People always tend to say it is against for me, but I don't really understand why. Yeah, imagine drawing the 1-drop that will just kill the Badger Bowl Cub here and then sack the Birthing Ritual. Instead, we don't draw much. Bummer. They got 4 mana. They could cast a Yawgmoth this turn. Formidable Speaker, cool. They discard a Cauldron. They grab a Yawgmoth. Maybe they have another Cauldron in their hand. So let's go ahead and take up to 2. We find a Taster of Wares. Would love to be able to Vial that in on their draw step. I guess we could do that maybe next turn with the Grub, but we do at least get to take 1 card with this, and then we get to have a Birthing Ritual trigger. They could Fatal Push the Taster of Wares here to just totally deny. Bummer. So they're going to cast the Yawgmoth. Make a little bit of extra mana with Formidable Speaker, I guess. Didn't bother attacking first might mean Sodek already has the combo. Looks like that wasn't the case because Sodek would have just played the Young Wolf before sacking the Boseiju, so he's still digging. Plays Windswept Teeth for turn, cracks Windswept Teeth. Plays Cauldron, so they can Cauldron the Yawgmoth's ability, which is a problem. And we find Munitions Expert at a little bit of an awkward time where they're going to be doing a pretty good job of keeping my board clear. I guess I just play the Grub, get back the Taster of Wares, and then violin the Taster of Wares after they sack here potentially. Oh, of course. Sorry, the Cauldron stopped the Taster. Okay, I guess we're gonna go to game 2. Game 3, sorry. All right, let's bring in the Trash Masters. Actually, I think that just killing their Cauldron is probably pretty important. Let me go down a Sling-Gang for mana curve considerations. I think I still want to have 3. I did definitely feel not having the Goblins, so maybe cutting another Goblin's a problem. Maybe I need to be cutting an Aether Vial or maybe a Hierarch. I think Aether Vial is better than Hierarch, so let's just go trim 1. I'd bring in Ashiok. It's a green Sun Fetchland Speaker deck. It's also a deck that's really good at attacking creatures, so attacking planeswalkers, but maybe we're good at defending, so I don't know. You might be right. But that's my concern is my inability to defend. Not so much that Ashiok's static ability isn't good against them. Cut a Nightmare, maybe. I feel like these games can get kind of grindy, but maybe cutting Nightmare is correct. So we definitely want Overgrown Tomb to cast Nightmare or Birthing Ritual. As we Munitions Expert the Delighted Halfling. Young Wolf. Another Cursetosser. Behold, the Goblin. I'll name Agatha's Soul Cauldron here. Definitely like the Expert dying, also with me now having Grub as a good top deck. Pretty excited to get the Vial up to 4 so I can sack both Cursetossers too. Don't feel like there's much reason to kill this Young Wolf right now. Name Cauldron here? I think so. Let me know if you feel like naming Yawgmoth's a better name, but I think we've got Yawgmoth pretty handled between the Cursetossers and the Expert. Opponent's not really sure what to do. Looks like a green sun for 1, so like Delighted half. Oh, Ballista for 1. Well, I think I'm just gonna hold up the Munitions Expert here since they shouldn't. I guess they could block both. So I guess I only attack with 1. But then I guess they could block Young Wolf here, and then when I target the Ballista, okay, well I just drew it. I drew the best possible, which is good. So why don't we just say we are okay if they block with both, since it's kind of the same. Although maybe we want to be getting back a Cursetosser. That does seem like it's better against a Yawgmoth. Now, I didn't get red mana for Grub, so I can't flip the Grub, which kind of stinks. But I do think I'm going to get back the Cursetosser. Also makes a bit more sense when I already have a Munitions Expert, I think. Behold, a Goblin. Alright, so nice 2-for-1 there. Opponent's got 4 cards in their hand after they draw. Justice Nail, thanks for the Twitch Prime. They've got a Delighted Halfling and another Ballista, maybe. Green Sun for another Halfling, maybe. Green Sun for a Young Wolf. So we'll take the Vial up to 4. We draw a Chthonian Nightmare, which is awesome. How do we want to use it, though? I think I want to cast the Nightmare this turn. I think I would really like to figure out a way if I can kill the halfling. Okay. No fun for us, but we do get to win. Beating Yawgmoth's nice. No, keep this one. Opponent's on a multi 6 on the play. We're on a keep 7 on the draw. You will live. Ignoble Hierarch, you're going to live. Okay, no surveil end of turn. Isn't like always wrong. I don't. What are they playing? I guess we don't know. But like, why aren't we surveilling? Misclicks, I guess. So they got to turn to a Johnny. So we could go maybe. The problem with Birthing Ritual is my Munitions Expert doesn't kill a Johnny. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna go for Cursetosser. It's the most mana efficient. And then if I draw an untapped land and my Ignoble Hierarch doesn't die, maybe I could go Birthing Ritual plus Mogg next turn. Now, again, I only get 2 cards. Do you think Goblin Sharpshooter would be okay at Modern? It'd probably be unplayable. I don't know. Maybe you play it in the sideboard for Boros. Have not played the Meek Attack deck yet, no. I don't know if we're going to play it today or not. Depends on how long this goes. I guess I'm going to take the Thraben Charm, since we can cast it. Maybe that's bait, though. See if they have the Bombardment. The fact that this takes the card and you get to cast it is so crazy. Although, a Johnny Bombardment, still good against Goblins. Not really much reason not to block, I think. I don't know. Maybe, was this just wrong? They go kill. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it was wrong because then they could have kept the cat. Sorry. There was I was actually right. Wrong to block. Yeah, the Taster Wars has to be alive for you to still play it. For better or for worse. So I guess I'm gonna go Birthing Ritual this turn, Sling-Gang Lieutenant next turn. Yeah, so I guess it was worse to block that way though. So they got 3 cards in their hand still. I have a Swamp on top, right? If so, it's a pretty good one to have. All right, only one of those in the deck. Could you come Bombardment? Well, I no longer have the Thraben Charm. You have to expend mana to cast it. It's not that crazy. So let's see if we can hit a Munitions Expert. If we do hit Munitions Expert, they can contain the Munitions Expert. Okay, just sack Sling-Gang to itself. So now maybe we're looking for another Taster of Wares just to take the best card out of their hand by a turn. We could also just put a Cursetosser into play. I think Munitions Expert deal 2 to the Johnny is okay. Getting a Mogg War Marshal in play seems okay. Oh right, we have to get a Cursetosser, of course. Okay, maybe kind of bad to be putting 2 Munitions Experts on the bottom. Okay, then just sack end of turn here. So they've got 3 cards in their hand after they draw. If we draw land, we could go Mogg War Marshal plus Grub, potentially. They play a Guide of Souls. They make an a Johnny token, so they don't have another creature. They're going to kill my Goblin. They're going to make 1 life and 1 energy. Okay, they messed up a little bit. Not the biggest deal. But they could have dealt another damage. Boros isn't exactly the kind of deck that cares about that, I guess. They do hit a Mudbutton Cursetosser, which is one of the few cards they could cast. I guess they could have a good amount of 1-drops, actually. And they can sack it to Goblin Bombardment. That's a little bit of a pain. So probably not winning game one here. Oh, there's no goblin for them to behold. All right. All right. A buff. Okay, so now we get to go Grub. I don't know if I go for. I guess I just go for another Sling-Gang. Well, we'll probably not have Blood Moon in against us for game 3. So they sack the cat token to kill Grub. And then we'll see what we get off the birthing ritual. They just killed my Mogg War Marshal now to deny me from getting anything more than 1 cost. I do see a Ignoble Hierarch. I guess we'll go ahead and put that into play. Although we're bottoming yet another Munitions Expert, notably. They do still have a Ragavan in their hand. I don't know. I guess maybe the Ragavan was a reason to not get the Ignoble Hierarch. Would you ever consider running Culling Ritual in this kind of deck? It's kind of tough to want to in your Birthing Ritual Aether Vial deck, I guess. But never say never. So they just cast Ragavan. And they Thraben Charm my Birthing Ritual. That's bad. Oh, no. Flage? Okay, Flage. So they do need another card in the yard, which they could get with the Ragavan. And they need a... Oh, am I dead? Sorry. I go to 4. No, I'm not dead. Not quite, at least. All right, I think we have to play Sling-Gang. Maybe their last card is Galvanic Discharge, and then the Taster of Wares would be better. I don't know that I should be trying to play to that exactly. Maybe they've just got the right idea with this. I'm going to 1 against them having exactly nothing, so that's something. I guess I should have attacked the Johnny for 1. I don't know. It's a very tough game. Alright, dead. I think main deck Masked Vandal is pretty good in the deck. Hits tons of important things. Maybe. I mean, it is not good against a lot of decks, and it is very good against a lot of decks. I could see playing Masked Vandal in the 75. Alright, so I want the Needle, and I wasn't sure if I wanted the Chalices. I know I want them against Prowess, and then I also want to play them on 0. Honestly, I feel like I might just play the just 1 Needle. -1 Hierarch. I could see Masked Vandal. Right, keep this. A little bit scary. The new Green Sun that card's awful, I think. It's like I want to even if that card had no double behold requirement, and that requirement is very steep. I don't know that that card is good. It might be okay, but I'm not like really convinced that that's a good effect. But let's like even if it was, the behold 2 is really really tough. Well, no 2-drop. This hand might be not a keep because we can't cast a Nightmare or Ritual if we draw them. The Goblin Blood Artist guy would have been great that game, just saying. Well, I don't know how it would have teleported into play that game. But maybe. Do I get a Swamp because of Blood Moon? I think that they probably boarded out their Blood Moon, so I'll try to save this to get green mana, maybe. Not a very good Taster of Wares, but it'll at least be a 2-for-1 that blocks the Ocelot Pride. They exile Sunbaked Canyon. Maybe has a Flage this turn. I would be pretty surprised if they Blood Moon to me again. Yeah, no, I'm surprised. And I could have played around it, but... It just didn't seem very good last game, right? See if we draw an Aether Vial, I guess. Even a deck with 30 allies, you think Green Sun for Mill Guy wouldn't be worth it? I mean, I don't think the effect is good. Like, I think that a Green Sun that can get anything in these kind of decks is really inefficient because your creatures are really inefficient in general. Like You know, I don't want to pay 5 mana for a Sling-Gang. I don't want to play 4 mana for a Taster of Wares. I don't want to play 2 mana for an Ignoble Hierarch. Maybe I would play 3 mana for Munitions sometimes. They discard 2 bombardments, so pretty good value there, I guess. They can't play another spell because of the High Noon. We'll see. Yeah. To what do we owe to the pleasure of late stream? New set release. So there's my Aether Vial. Slowly but steadily can get me back into this game. I was wondering why you thought they went to Blood Moon. You only showed 1 lucky basics. I mean, but I'm like an Aether Vial Goblin deck. Like I have red cards. I've got Aether Vial, but I don't know. Maybe it's just silly to think they want to bring it in. I'm down to go move it on here. This is why I'm not thinking this, but I do like to have the floor open to conversation and see if I can be swayed. Well, let's keep this hand. I'm either gonna put back Grub or Sling-Gang. I think I'll put back the Sling-Gang. They're on a mold of 6 on the play. They reveal a Devourer of Destiny. They say no to a plant, and Urza's Mine, and they say yes to a tower. So, I mean, that could mean, I suppose, that they... That could mean that they have, they didn't have any other Tron pieces, but I think it probably means they have Tron. What do you think about Tarfire as a card you can get back with Grub? It's not very exciting at the very least, and you already have a lot of creature removal between Munitions Expert and the new 1 mana Black Goblin. But it is an option. We do have 4 Charmaws in the sideboard. Do you think I just want to play the second Vial here? Can Vial in the Mogg War Marshal for pretty free next turn. And if they play Tron plus Karn this turn, we're not winning no matter what anyways. They do have Tron, no big surprise here. They have Thought-Knot Seer instead of Karn, so we got some hope. I know you want to test new cards. Do you think Goblin Matron could just be better than Grub? To me, Grub seems a lot better in a Birthing Ritual Chthonian Nightmare deck at least. Like, and then like the fact that Grub, you know, is a 2/1 menace instead of a 1/1 no stats is nice, and Grub is also something that's going to give you like good card advantage if your opponent doesn't kill it, and like making them kill it is I think a big deal. Sometimes you won't have anything in the graveyard, so that's the downside. So you get to see only 3 of their 4 cards with Taster of Wares. I guess I get Blood Crypt just in case they land destruction me. Sometimes these decks play Mycospawn. I played a lot of Vial, Coco, Birthing. It feels 4 Hierarch and 4 Vial and 4 Birthing and 2 Nightmare. Are many cards in that order have to be good? Are many cards in order to be good, you need to have, in this case, Goblins in hand. This is... Sorry, the syntax on this is rough. But by having that many of no Goblins, you run out of gas really soon. There are many, or you need to have, in this case, Goblins in hand. But by having that many of no Goblins... So because we have too many non-goblin spells, we're going to run out of gas. I feel like our overall goblin count is fine. Literally every other card in the deck is a goblin. Also, calling Ignoble Hierarch not a goblin is a little bit weird, right? Where it counts as a goblin for Nightmare and Birthing Ritual. So I'm going to go ahead and count it as a goblin. But we're at 30. It's half the deck are goblins. I think that's still fine. Well, let's go and take the Ulamog. They're saying my goblin ratio is off. Yeah, I know. It just took me a while to figure out what they were saying, is all. And maybe it is off. So they have a Devour. They've got a Urza's Mine. They've got a mystery card. Probably an Ugin. Okay, thankfully not. One card left in hand over there. Let's go ahead and take both up. So we find another Taster of Wares. So we can go ahead and draw step that. And then we can vial in another matron here. Or sorry, another Mogg War Marshal. Oh, upkeep grab to transform is kind of interesting. Although there's not really much reason to transform, right? So hopefully they don't have a K command. If they did have a K command, playing this first was better, right? We could have played around it too and taken the K command. Instead, we probably lose the game. Could have been the card drawn. It could have been, yeah, but I think it's kind of likely not to be. Should you have Vial Grub? Well, Vialing and Taster of Wares, see, a draw step has the upside of I get to see their entire hand, and if they don't have K command, I get to take the best card. Playing Taster Wares on my turn had the upside of not letting them untap for K command. So if I was gonna Vial and Taste, I should have done it on my turn to not give them the mana. You wouldn't want to do an upkeep ever. They do put 7 cards on the bottom somehow. And then they find a second K command. We kind of knew they hit a card from me already, exactly, which is why probably playing this on my turn was better. Alright, 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. So they just keep a land on top for me to take with the Taster. And then they draw a good card. They play the... Oh, sorry, they're going to draw that next turn. So maybe we'll draw another Taster of Wares. Or maybe we'll get to chump with the Taster of Wares, and then... I guess we don't get to buy it back, do we? We get to buy it back next turn. We could draw another Grub, though, so I think I'm still going to block, and then I also can get this off the field. And then I probably will tick both vials up. Or no, maybe it's better to leave one vial at 2. If I leave one vial at 2, it's better if I draw Munitions Expert, because then I could still draw Grub into Taster of Wares. It's bad if I draw exactly Sling-Gang, but yeah, I think I'm actually going to leave them both at 2 and 3 for now. I only have 3 Sling-Gangs, and it doesn't exactly move the needle a lot for me. So we want to find Chthonian Nightmare. We want to find another Taster of Wares, another Grub. A Munitions Expert. So in response to this trigger, let me go ahead and kill the Thought-Knot Seer and see what we draw. We just draw a land, so I'm going to copy or flip the Grub. And then... I guess we blight one on the Munitions Expert to kill a spawn token. Is that... I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I have the ability to grub back the Munitions Expert this way next turn. I don't know if you can cast K command actually with Taster, because this says as if it was any... Okay, it says mana of any type. So I think mana of any type lets you cast it. Mana of any color would not let you cast it. Do you think there's merit to running Snoop as a Goblin Future Sight and running 1 Harbinger, 1 Kiki as potential for combo? Maybe. I really don't like that if you just draw the Kiki, you no longer can combo. And then if you play just 1 Harbinger, like you kind of need to play Matrons to get it too. But it is possible to build a deck that way, of course. Definitely possible. Only so much room in the deck. Don't really want to play Anti-Sovel in your Birthing Ritual Ignoble Hierarch build, I think. All right, what card did they keep on top here? A Glaring Fleshraker? No way, dude. No shot. Don't think I want that. It's not the worst, I suppose. I think I just leave these here. Let's draw a Cursetosser. So we're going to go ahead and transform this to get back Taster of Wares so we can try to continue this draw step lock we've got going on here. And then we don't want to be attacking with... We don't want to lose the Grub. So I guess we don't have an attack. Maybe it was better to get the Munitions Expert here. I mean, the Taster of Wares is just so nice. It's just kind of time walk here, unless they have the 3rd K command. which I'll lose my mind if they do. Okay, we hit a Mind Stone. You can Blight. No, I can't Blight because this transformed, right? I had to flip. So I think now I probably am pretty interested in making sure I can Violet and Sling-Gang. But now I can Blight the Cursetosser, yes. So we need to fade a draw step. I guess another higher mana value than 2 card this gets rid of. Alright, Grub is looking phenomenal. Shadow Goblin Matron. Really think Ringleader should be included. What would you cut for Ringleader? There, like, this whole stream has just been chat names every single modern legal goblin with no suggestions for cuts besides Aether Vials, which I'm not cutting. Yeah, I think Grub's command could maybe be better than Ringleader 2, although in your Vial Birthing Ritual deck, probably not. Oh, we get to kill another spawn token. Nice. Cut 1 Grub, 1 Sling, 2 Ringleaders. I feel like watching this game, the idea of cutting a Grub seems crazy to me. Grub seems so unbelievable, but I think you could cut a Sling-Gang. I'm also not saying that there isn't an answer, right? They're like, yeah, maybe cutting a Sling-Gang for a Ringleader's fine. I think watching that game, saying that you want to cut a Grub, to me that was not my conclusion from that game. Grub was like unbelievable, I thought. So I think I'm just gonna cut the Cursetossers for the Charmaws, even though they do kill the Glaring Fleshrakers. They might even cut those. I cannot believe we won that game. Opponent might have made some mistakes there. I don't know, but I mean, it was definitely because we were able to take their big payoffs. We got an Aether Vial. We got a Charmaw. We don't have a second land. Am I gonna mulligan this? Maybe I should. I'm gonna keep. Passion could be nice to Sling-Gang. I think I would play the new 2/3. Whenever a creature dies, you deal 1 opponent. It's just 1 less mana. It's kind of similar to Mon's. Yeah, good chalice. Good chalice. Is it? I guess I'm gonna discard a Grub to get that. I don't know. Good chalice. Maybe we should have some Trash Masters in too. I know Grub is being MVP most games with 3 is, but maybe 3 is too much. Okay, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like really happy to play 4 Grub. There's just, it's also just so good with Vial, Ritual, Nightmare. It's just so easy for it to be nuts. Okay, let's bring the Trash Masters back in, or in for the first time. They probably should have been there. Can maybe cut Sling-Gang to Munitions 4. And I don't think we need the Needle. Yeah, it was a greedy keep, but we were on the draw in a tough matchup with a lot of good elements. I think it was okay. How do we feel about Cavern of Souls on Dragon? I mean, I'm not gonna mulligan double Charmaw on the play against Tron. I'm gonna name Dragon if I need to. I understand the ritual's not very castable, or not castable at all. But I'm keeping. Not so much of a goblin draw. So far, the War Marshals have not been good. I mean, they won us game 1, match 1, because they let us, or I guess they didn't win us the game, but they did let us see our opponent's entire hand with the 4-drop. I think that the Mogg War Marshals are like mandatory for Munitions Expert, the new Thoughtseize card, and okay, great draw. It's like mandatory for the new Thoughtseize card, mandatory for Munitions Expert. It's very good in a Birthing Ritual Shell, very good with Sling-Gang Lieutenant. It's a card you kind of hate to play sometimes because it is like so dopey. All right, let's keep this on the draw for round 4 with a Goblin without Echo that makes a token. Be better than Marshal. No, Marshal, like, this is much better with all of your sacrifice effects. And think about it too. Think about the Goblin that let's hope to not get turned 2 Archon. Sheesh. Think about it a little bit, right? Where that card gives you 2 Goblins for the price of 1, or for the price of 2 mana. This also gives you 2 goblins for 2 mana, even if you don't pay Echo. It's the same, but this one has the upside of sometimes giving you a nice thing to sacrifice. You could also be like Jim Davis and just always pay for the Echo. Have Unearth? They do have Unearth. What is the... Let's see what we draw. I feel like I really want to land to be able to go Birthing Ritual plus Munitions Expert next turn. I think this turn I'll play Taster of Wares while they've got 3 cards in their hand. And then next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Mogg War Marshal plus Birthing Ritual, potentially. They do get to keep a card in their hand. Master Mike with the 40 months. Thank you, welcome back. Is Lorwyn bringing out any new brews featuring her favorite dual land, Celestial Colonnade? Not yet. Somehow, not yet. I guess we'll take the Looting, which we could maybe cast next turn if we don't hit our land. Be a little bit of a weird one to cast. But I don't want to leave them a second Grandma. Although second Grandma's kind of okay because they can attack and I can block. But if that's what they're using their mana on, that's okay. So we're going to take 7 down to 10. We really want to draw the land to go Mogg War Marshal plus Munitions Expert. Hopefully they don't have land persist as the exact 2 unknown cards. They do tap for a black, and they unearth Grand instead of playing the other one in the hand, which is almost definitely wrong, I guess. We do draw the land. Thank goodness. Now we still have to dodge persist. They did just manifest a persist away. But we'll go Mogg War Marshal. And we will play a Munitions Expert. We will kill an Art. And they might get super punished for using Unearth instead of second Grandma, because they could have unearthed the Oculus again. -1 Sling, +1 Champion. I feel like when we play Champion, and I do want to play Champion, I want to build around it a little bit more. So they discard a second copy of Archon. I think I want to block like this. I guess this one's a bit more likely to be done. I guess it's the same amount of likelihood. Shout out to the other guy. This also Mogg War Marshal better than the other Mogg War Marshal-esque card. Now they play a second Grandma. So as much as I want to get the Birthing Ritual online, I guess I'm going to cast the Looting. So discard 1, 2 probably. I think it's really important that we Taster of Wares to try to take a persist here. Okay, they've got an Oculus and they have Grandma number 3. I guess we'll take the Oculus. Can't be too upset with that. And then we can attack. I guess I kind of want to... Yeah, I kind of want to double block. Yeah, I know the Looting puts Looting in the yard, but they only have 1 land. They don't have red mana. It's okay, right? Champion seems far too slow for Modern. It does 2-card combo with Giraffe's Messenger, which is kind of fun. That's my understanding. I had a lot of people tell me I was wrong about that, and a lot of people tell me I was right, so I don't know. We'll find out, maybe. Alright, they did mill over an Otherworldly Gaze. So we'll get the Birthing Ritual down, and I guess we will also Grub for Taster of Wares again. I'm really liking Grub's Taster of Wares, just like looping this. I think it's pretty fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna test the combo off stream, but I just have people telling me I'm right and telling me I'm wrong. I'll test it off stream and we'll figure it out. Yeah, should just get a... Wait, is Trawler better than Sling-Gang? Definitely. Nice. Up a game. Maybe a little light on Graveyard Hate here. Could just run it back. There's a persist in the graveyard because they manifested it there. Yeah, let's run it back. Maybe Needle and Frog is okay. Yeah, Grub has been really, really good so far, I think. They're on a multi-6 on the play. Tap land. Agnicala. Still don't think I'm saying that right, I guess. We'll probably be violating the Hierarch with the Birthing Ritual next turn. Oh, I guess we could also, maybe they'll play like a Grand and we'll kill it with the Mudbutton. Maybe a little bit of interesting which one we want to sack. Let's go ahead and just make sure that we can resolve the Birthing Ritual first. There have been a few gamers so far today that have said that Aether Vial and Birthing Ritual are not good together. It's been like, I don't know if there's like a Goblin Discord where y'all are deciding these things, but I feel like they look pretty good together. I think I might still be able to kill a Grandma with this. Sorry, Grandma. Oh my gosh, I did this on my instep. Ugh. Sorry, chat. Not really the end of the world, honestly, but incorrect. Ashiok is for Titan and Neoform. Alright, so we get to go Violin, the Mogg War Marshal. I suppose I'll be casting the Cursetosser first. And then we'll be Behold, a Goblin, and the Taster of Wares for their whole hand. But I kind of feel like these cards are good together, y'all. I don't know. Bad if you violate in your instep on accident. So they have really messed up here because they could have wait, this goes to exile, right? Yeah, exile. So they could have just discarded Archon to the Frog, and then I would not have been able to stop them from persisting the Archon. But now I just exile the Archon. I'm just gonna test it in T. Other people have cited rules saying it does work. I'm just gonna test it off stream, see if it works. All right, let's get a Sling-Gang. And then, how do we feel about making them discard 2 cards? Yeah, sure. Okay, they also did not... They don't know how the new cards work. Big for Goblins. All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Opponent could have played a little bit better that game. Nice to just to be beating Reanimator and beating Tron. Beat Yawgmoth, 3 really tough matchups. Lost to Boros. That card, I think it's not good against any deck. I think it's kind of okay in some matchups, but I'd certainly, there's almost always going to be a better sideboard card for any of those matchups. Okay, let's keep this. We can keep Fetchland Cavern as our only mana sources potentially. I think we probably... Yeah, probably just do that. Credit Maker's been good in Legacy. Yeah, so I did say maybe it's been good in Legacy, but as far as in Modern, I'm a little unconvinced that it's ever really been a reasonable include. Well, we'd maybe multiply, but we do kind of have the exact hand we want in this matchup. We do have to tell them we've got a Munitions Expert, though. Masked Vandal on the sideboard way before Crater Maker. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play Crater Maker. I think I could be convinced somehow, but I have a lot of biases against the card. It's better to kill Guide or Voice. I don't really know. This is a very fun curve, though. So Voice is better with another Guide. Guide is better with a Pride. Voice is better with a Bombardment. We can kind of handle that. I think I'm gonna kill the Guide. We can't kill Voice. This is power 2 or greater, and this has power 2. Oh, you just mean you didn't realize you could sack to Ritual, yeah. How did Moonshot perform? It was good. It was we 4-1 with it. But it says, wow, that's good. Yeah. This exact draw, Cursetosser into Ritual, makes me feel like this matchup isn't unwinnable like I have in the past. Probably not a good matchup still. They have 4 cards in their hand here. Scared of a Blood Moon, I guess. They did get the basic planes. They do have the Blood Moon, which sucks. So I guess we're looking for an Ignoble Hierarch. I don't think it probably makes that much sense to play this. Obviously we could... We do hit the Ignoble Hierarch. No, of course there's a problem of maybe not this just dying and we don't get to cast any spell until we find an Aether Vial or a... I guess we have Aether Vial, Basic Swamp, and Mogg War Marshal as outs. They probably are going to... They don't sack? No, that's so lucky for me, dude. So let's go ahead and play the Sling Gang. Pretty greedy for them to not sack here, huh? Wow, they sack to kill my lieutenant instead of the clearly much better, clearly much better Ignoble Hierarch. I don't know. Let's see if we find a second Ignoble Hierarch. That would be great. We do find one. Amazing. Huge. So they got 2 cards in their hand over there. They didn't have an Ajani last turn. One of their 2 cards is a copy of Arena of Glory. And they concede the game. All right. Yeah, I do think I want to play another league of this. It's been really fun and good, and I've definitely been missing goblins. I do think I want to rework the sideboard. I'm not really liking very much of it, honestly. Building a goblin sideboard is definitely kind of tricky. I think I like the idea of Masked Vandal more than Goblin Trashmaster. I don't know if I want to be main decking any copies. I think we could play them over like Needles and Trashmasters maybe, because they can deal with the... I guess also deal with Blood Moon, but deal with the Goblin Bombardment out of Boros in addition to other artifacts and enchantments. Also interested maybe in just playing some Thoughtseizes. They're pretty versatile. Well, we've got Vial into Mudbutton, into Ritual, and maybe Needle for Bombardment. We do need a second land, though. Unfortunately, they still don't let you Aether Vial in Birthing Ritual. I'm going to go and get the Overgrown Tomb so I can cast the Ritual, although this is worse against a Blood Moon, and we have been Blood Mooned a lot today by Boros. Train Whirler seems nuts against Boros. Seems kind of hard to cast. It's also not nuts. It's good against Ocelot Pride, and sometimes Ragavan. Not always Ragavan. It'd be good, though. Uh-oh. Alright, Graveyard of Grub. Behold. A Goblin. They probably can play around Taster Where's the worst, right? Taster's been really good. Like, Taster's kind of our plan A to be disrupting combo decks. So, like, maybe that's also a good reason to be playing a bunch of Thoughtseizes in the sideboard. It does complement the Mudbutton plan kind of well. Alright, so I'm down to 14. They get another Pride token. They've got 5 cards in their hand. A Curse Marauder is a really good sideboard card in this deck. It's Scion, Riddler, Frog, cards that are tough to answer. I mean, against all of those cards, except for Scion, I'm kind of just planning to outgrind them. I do agree we are missing an answer for Scion. Possibly you want to play a Cursed Marauder. Maybe I should have kept that on top. Yeah, sorry, I should have kept it on top so I could just kill the Voice and the Pride. My bad. So we'll just go ahead and get another Cursetosser to clean the Voice up next turn. So they got 4 cards in their hand. Was Thoughtseize recommended a joke after saying it's definitely wrong earlier? It's definitely wrong in the main deck over Aether Vial, but I will play. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm just not going to play in the main deck over Aether Vial, but I could see sideboarding Thoughtseize, of course. I think that's fine. But to all the, I also think that if I was going to main deck Thoughtseize, I think it would clearly be over Ignoble Hierarch instead of Aether Vial. But Aether Vial is better than Ignoble Hierarch. People always hate on Aether Vial in these decks, but I do think it's still like pretty correct to play. Got an Ajani. Ugh. Really needed this Cursetosser, I guess. Do I Sling-Gang? I guess let's go. Yeah, I think we'll just go Munitions Expert main phase, kill the cat, and then needle the Ajani. Then play this Trawler tapped. So hopefully we hit a Taster of Wares just to get their last card. Instead we have access to a Mogg War Marshal or a Grub. If we hit a grub, we're committed to taking 5. I think we'll just take the Mogg War Marshal to pad our life total a bit, since we have got a good bit of grind here. Seasoned Pyromancer discarding 2 cards. They discard a Flage, and so I guess we have to try to hit a Trawler off of our ritual. And they find land 2-drops. So they have Thraben Charm, or they have Galvanic Discharge, I guess. That could be Discharge still. I'm going to be taking 3 down to 6. If it's Thraben Charm, we probably can't win. If it's Discharge, we probably could win. Although, I guess not, because... Oh, wait, I just drew Trawler. That's exactly what I needed to happen. Could still be Thraben Charm. It is Thraben Charm. So we block 1. We go to 1. Doesn't seem like I want to put a Hierarch in play. So they are top decking. We need them to brick this turn, obviously. So not in particularly good shape. I think we block here and go to 1. Probably just play the Trawler. So I can double spell next turn. Assuming I can live. I'm not sure that I can live. I guess if I had a Mudbutton Cursetosser, I can live. Might be better to hold the Trawler. I think it's better to play so I can try to double spell next turn. They drew another Discharge. They drew a Thraben Charm. Okay. We might not be dead, but the problem is we're gonna have to block and then sack like a bunch. Like I think we have to sack our entire board. So I guess we could maybe draw Munitions Expert exactly. Yeah, we have to go block, sack our board. I guess we could keep the Sling-Gang around. It's probably a little bit better. It's because this would also let us sack a top deck Cursetosser. Did they brick on it? No, they just never ever brick on a spell. We draw Grub. So I guess Grub into Munitions Expert is better than Grub into Cursetosser. Kind of alive here. I did forget the ritual was gone, though. Maybe we're not alive. I think we're not dead on board. Playing the combos bad in the deck. Well, I think just all the new cards really basically say don't play the combo. So I'm trying to do what the new cards are telling me to do. Yeah, I don't want to kill this Seasoned Pyromancer. The 2/1/1s are pretty costly. Does stink I can't flip the Grub, though. So they do have a new card in their hand. Did they draw, like, the 5th spell in a row? No, they did not. Then they don't look for the Flage, which is a mistake on their part. Leave Grub in play. Just Grub on an empty board. We don't get to really do anything with it, though, next turn. I feel like we just need to try to get the board empty, and then I'll top deck them with, like, another Grub. Did we get punished for playing the Boggart Bog earlier? Maybe we did. Looks like we're going to game 3. Alright, game 3 on the play. On the play. We have no 1-drops. I think we just have to mulligan. Alright, keeping this. Putting back the theater. Opponent's still thinking. Is Broadside Bombardier a goblin? So I think with this top deck, I just want to play Taster of Wares and then double spell next turn. Although they could kill my Hierarch, I guess. Yeah, I know it's not legal. So they show us the two worst of their cards. We get to take one. A little 2-for-1. We'll take the card we can cast, I guess. I don't think I care that much about the Pride either. Like if they just play Pride and another creature next turn, I think going Ritual Munitions Expert will probably be pretty good against that. Or we could also play Thraben Charm too. They play Bombardment when I can Thraben Charm it. Yeah. Don't know if they realize this. So we'll play the Birthing Ritual, and then I guess I'm gonna get to go. Oh, let's play around Blood Moon. Yeah, I'll just get a Swamp. And then let's go ahead and destroy Goblin Bombardments. A little bit of an assist from our opponent. Their hand was probably 4th Raven Charms, yeah. Attack for 4, and then we can get another Taster of Wares or Sling-Gang. I'm gonna get another Taster of Wares, I think. Just get another nice 2-for-1. I think it's a little bit close. I think I'm a little bit scared of them playing a bunch of spells this turn, so I'll just take the Pride. Although exiling the Flage would be nice. I know it exiles. Flage pretty easy. I mean, I don't think it's easy. Like we just lose really hard if they go like Pride to Johnny, Pride Bombardment. It's all really scary. Pride. I have like a lot of answers to Flage I can hit off the Ritual. Like if they just play Flage this turn, I get to Munitions Expert the Guide of Souls and have a lot of really good hits, and they're not that close to escaping. I mean, I could just be wrong. I know y'all are scared of Flage, but to me it seems like at least it's a conversation. I could maybe hit Grub and get back Munitions Expert, which would punish me for attacking, but just a little bit. So I did not hit the Boggart Trawler, so I guess we'll just see their entire hand here. Exile the Ajani. They won't be able to escape the Flage this turn. They will be able to escape it next turn. Let's Surveil. I think that's probably better than just trying to keep as many Trawlers towards the top of the deck as possible, because we didn't see any off the Ritual. Nice. I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong call, but it ended up working out. Yeah, Taster Wares is so nice. Like they're just like it's so powerful that there's like an upside to the card too, where sometimes you get to cast a spell, which we did do this game. Guess we're looking for Grub. We hit a Cursetosser. I guess I'll go ahead and trade this in. We can sack it in since we took the tower. Kind of want to play the 4th Trawler. Trawler's been really good. I think I'm down to cut the 4th Cavern for the 4th Trawler. Double check the green source count for Hierarch, I guess. All right, they do draw the best possible, I guess. Maybe Wrath the Skies. I guess Wrath the Skies would be better. 2 cards in their hand. They're still very ahead. We draw a Sling-Gang. Yeah, let's just get their last card. The Grub would have been really nice, but, putting your opponent to no cards in hand. It's a Flage. Exile the Flage. Let's go, dude. Goblins better than Boros energy. Oh, no, I'm sorry for saying that. We're still ahead. That's the third Flage. They need to draw fetch land to escape it. If they do escape it, it's not the end of the game either. Okay, we hit a Trawler, which I think. Oh, sorry, I'll take this lethal Sling-Gang Lieutenant instead of the Trawler. We don't need to be that scared of the Flage. Okay, so a 4-1 with Goblins is really exciting. I know we've got a lot of other stuff to do, but let's do another one. I think especially like a 4-1 where our sideboard was built pretty bad has got to be worth a second league here. So I think I want to go